Thank you very much, members of the Board of Education. My name is RBC AC Edom, District Public Advocate. First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to the graduates. I didn't realize that they were graduating. Hopefully they'll go on to new endeavors. Hopefully some type of post-high school education, either a college, community college, or a trade school. And I wish them the best in their endeavors. School bus safety. This morning was the first day of school in many of the districts of the area, or some of them in the county. And I saw one too many times school buses that had on their stop signs and the red lights and the arm out, but yet drivers were going around the school bus on two-lane roads or in subdivisions and neighborhoods. And I saw that 3 times this morning. And it kind of breaks my heart because whether they're right or wrong, if somebody hits a kid, they're going to feel it for the rest of their life. And that child is probably going to bring those physical benefits. So I would ask the community that school is back in safety and to be cognizant of school safety and walkers that are getting on buses. I would ask the people of the community to report violators by obtaining the information of license plates, driver identification of like what they look like, their description, and call that to the local police departments or county police, or report it to a school resource officer. We really need to crack down on this before a tragedy happens in our community, and I think it's very important we all get out of whack of what's going on during the summer and kind of relax our safety ideas. As you all know, I fought hard in the state legislature at committees. There's various state laws affecting education that I totally agree with, I totally disagree with. There's some good things and there's a lot of bad things. And we need to be on our toes, because if we just give an inch to some of this legislation, you can't have your cake and eat it too. We're going to bankrupt public schools the way that we're going. The state representative for the 64th district, and way far right, has some awful, wants to destroy public education. And I may be filing as a writing candidate to challenge that person who won the primary last week to beat the incumbent Tony Alaska. Facility planning that's on the agenda tonight, I'd like to know where that document is for our long-range facility planning. And if the superintendent can send me a link or send me that document, I'd love to read it and be familiar with it, because I haven't seen it to this point. The HVAC recommendations for professional services. Again, my beef with the construction division is they're not being cognizant with compliance. You are the elected members. You do the fiduciary responsibility. You look at the documentation. You require accountability and compliance at the end of the day. And I think we need to disclose, like all the other school districts across our county, in terms of the bids and bid specifications. And I ask the board to have that discussion tonight. Madam Chairman, I'll get you
Hi, my name is Regina Patterson, and I'm here to plead with you guys to give my son a boundary exception. It was, my husband filed for bankruptcy in March. He got sick, we got behind on our rent. We got evicted. We became 9 days away from being homeless when we found this place to stay. Unfortunately, it's in South. It's on the border. I mean, years ago, it was zoned for West. And my other son, he got a boundary exception to stay in West. He's going to be going to South by himself. It's really hurting him emotionally to not be with his brother. It's hurting him emotionally to not be with his friends from 8th grade that are now going to the high school. It's hurting him a lot. And as a mother, it's hard to hear him cry at night. Because of all this, it wasn't his fault. It was the adult's fault. And I don't think that he should be punished and not be with his brother and his other friends because of the adult's problem. We were lucky enough to find this place. I think that's it. I just want him to be with his brother as a freshman. And all summer he's played football. He was at West with the football team. Football camp with them because we didn't know what was going on. Josh, would you like to say something? Is it okay?
So when football camp started, it was a bunch of back and forth with coaches about talking about the South, and it happened on start of August where they decided to send the South practice because of this girl named Lisa Broker who decided to enroll me into South without any of us knowing. So I was forced to practice at South for 2 weeks.
Okay. We do have the backing of Coach Pike. He was going to talk to Dr. Dreyer to have Josh stay in West. So yeah, that's it.
Just so you know, this is your presentation. We don't respond on a local comment. That's where this is meeting, so we don't respond on that local comment. But we will discuss it as a board and with Dr. Myers, with his information back with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Next, we have our consent agenda. And we need a motion to present. All right, thank you. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda. Second. Mr. House, all in favor, say aye. Aye. And then opposed. All right. Thank you.
So, I think as I noted in my memo, it's just for the month of July, July's a boring month as far as expenditures and revenues go for school. We only spend about 2% of our total budget, just to give you an idea of how little spending we have in July. Most of that's because we paid the teachers in the year before in June, we get it out, but we're still very busy. I mean, I think just payroll working with HR alone, to get all the teachers in, watching that. You see all our numbers are good, that did come in, there's nothing in there that you say, hey, we need to change our budget. Of our total fund balances, we have about 130 million at the end of the year. A good chunk of that, about 40 million of that's reserved just for the bond funds. Of that, we have 140 million invested, so we have almost all of our funds invested. So it just means hey, we got a check run coming up, or we have a big state retirement payment to make this week. Move money out of investments into cash. We just try to be aggressive and earn as much interest there. As I noted with revenues, we have 3% of our annual collections. It was very aligned with history. I did two charts, one that just shows them monthly, where our revenue shows how they're just flat until December. January, property tax comes in. Our rolling average of revenues, it has gone up because of ESSER, but I think we're going to start seeing that number plateau as we have since pretty much the start of this year. Our rolling average of revenue stays about the same, with the February going away. Expenses, they are normally flat, or the same throughout most of the year except for July, and then in June they're much higher. But again, it just wasn't much to report. July's kind of a slow month. Any questions you have?
Any motion to approve the management reports for the amendment? Mr. Pratt, second. Mr. Fairweather, all in favor, aye. Aye.
Next item is old business, and under old business, we have various facility planning. The first one is a review of our transportation consider design. One of the things that the board had asked for, and maybe they'll get one like, you know, whatever there, is just an overall update. So we have this design update today, and in September, we're going to back into an overall update on where we're at. So we're trying to get kind of a snapshot looking into next year. So that being said, it's easy for the introduce yourself.
Thank you, Dr. Burns. Yes, tonight, remember, we have Rick Heister with Corrigan Clark. He's gonna go over our presentation and kind of show you what we've been up to trying to design the transportation center. We just released bid documents last week, and we're hoping to get bids before the September board meeting. We know we will get bids before the September board meeting, and we'll be hopefully bringing a recommendation at that time. I'll let Rick, turn it over to him and let him go through the design.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing us to present the design tonight. Really appreciate it. As Lisa mentioned, the project is currently out there being worked with design last 6 or 9 months. So just as a starting point, I know most of you know this, but this is the existing transportation facility. And as we go through this, I wanted to do a little bit of comparison of what you have now to what you're going to get when this is all completed. So just showing that as a starting point. Again, the existing building there from Google Earth, and we got a couple images showing the current shop and the break room, which is pretty crowded and small. So the existing building currently is about 8,000 square feet, measured up Google Earth, and you have 2 bus bays plus a little bit of an area to work with. Again, small break room, meeting rooms, and then currently, you know, you have buses stored in 2 different sites, so they're not all in one central location. So the new sites over there in St. Peter's, off of Highway 70 and Ridgemont Drive. You kind of see the red area there, kind of Mid Rivers and Salt Lake River Road, 2 major roads. You're lucky that you have basically a curve cut at each of those major roads. It's worked out really nice. So this is the overall site. Again, you get 2 connection points, one at each road there. Currently, you have about 172 buses, a mix of diesel and propane buses. We're designing this site to allow for future growth, so up to 200 parking spaces for buses. And there's also plans in the future that you may have some electrical buses, so we're making a combination for that. Some other site amenities are the fueling station on site for propane and diesel. We have a lot of site lighting and security throughout, so you have no issues there. There's a lot of Wi-Fi that's built in, that's going to be connected to your buses, security, fencing, and then we'll get into kind of the separation. There's a good separation of, there's a lot of traffic. This is one of the biggest things with this facility is just managing the amount of people and vehicles that are coming on and off of the site. So we're going to kind of show how that separation works. So first, cars, you have the blue there, 233 parking spaces, and you have a small parking area close to the entrance of the building for visitors. And you can kind of see that cars can arrive to the site from either entrance, and that was kind of part of the traffic study we did. We needed to make that work that way. So cars come in from Ridgemont Drive or from the other road there. And then we have a sliding security gate that manages, so we keep the buses separated from the cars. And then for buses, they're primarily going to be coming off of Ridgemont Drive, entering into a security gate, and then parking there, and then going back out. There is the ability to go onto the other road, that other access facility, to the emergency gate, or for fire truck and ambulance, that sort of thing. And so we have 200 parking spaces for buses. And then the building is quite a bit larger than what we have now, allow for everything you wanted, about 20,000 square feet, and the building is set up to allow for a little bit of expansion in the building, and then some future additions to be added on pretty easily if you need to do that down the road. So again, the building's kind of broken up into 3 major parts. We have the front offices at the top there, and that allows for all the office staff, and then if you have visitors, you can kind of manage them to that living section there. There's a reception and a conference room, so people don't be wandering through the building that way. And then the other part is the actual maintenance day, you have six compared to two now, bays, for working on buses, a parts room, a storage mezzanine, a wash bay off to the side, dedicated lockers, break room, and maintenance supervisor. So then all that green area, basically once you come on, those people come on the site, they don't need to interact with the other parts of the building or other bus drivers coming in, which we got a lot of people, 200 bus drivers that are potentially pulling through here. So we have a large, dedicated entrance, large break room for up to 100 people with a kitchenette that's kind of off of that. There's a training room for up to 25 people, dispatch, routing office, dedicated restrooms, and there's an outdoor seating area for bus drivers if they want to eat lunch outside. And of course, they come in to the right area, they come out to the bottom and head out to the bus parking area where they get their bus. These are just some elevations, what the building looks like. It's pretty straightforward. It's got some masonry along the base. We're using that just for architectural interest and for durability for lawn equipment. It's just, this is a pretty robust facility, so we want to make sure it's durable and you have damage and that sort of thing. So there's a mixture of different masonry blocks that are going to be used in the building for the lower part, and then there's more metal panels for the walls and the roof of the office area. Just another view looking in the direction there. And these are just a few renderings. Again, this is as you walk in the front door, that's the reception that we talked about earlier, visitors will see as they come to the facility. And then the break room, a couple different views. This is looking across to the other side. There's that kitchenette, that little opening there is where the kitchenette is at. And then looking back the other direction, that's a vestibule where drivers come in, they come into that vestibule, they check in, and then they have access to the break room. And then there's another closer view kitchenette area for the drivers. And then as far as our schedule, again, we're out to bid, pre-bid meeting, again, this week, and I was talking about, bids are due on September 10th, and plan to bring those to the board meeting next month, on the 16th. And we're anticipating construction to start right away in October, and continue through, basically Halloween of next year, and you have November, December, basically then. So kind of circling back, another kind of benefit of this project is it allows the pool, the aquatic center building we were talking about, not quite settled, but it could be on this site here. And having this project move forward allows a lot more options with that as far as getting that facility on there and parking dedicated facility. So that's kind of the summary. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions or you may have.
Super quick, have you all worked with people on our maintenance team and yes, you're not.
Definitely, yeah, we met with the.
Regarding shop designs and,
Like how, just, I wanna make sure, because I'm sure they kind of have a better idea of their flow of day, I certainly don't, but, you know, I wanna make sure they have buy-in, they.
Yeah, we had a kickoff meeting and we toured your existing facility several times. We went out and looked at next facility in Winsville, which is kind of similar to this. We got a lot of input, things that they liked, they didn't like, so there was a lot of from Winsville in here, in your facility. And then during design, we had probably 6 or 8 meetings that various different individuals from these different departments have reviewed your plans on
We've included Josh Weiber, the Director of Transportation, and some other employees out there to get feedback on what they need. The shop area is very, well, it's a very intricate area, and we gotta make sure we get what they need so they can do the work appropriately.
Yeah, we certainly want to make it easier for them, not harder.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
So the next item is facility planning, so as many of you know, we just completed huge HVAC project summer for our elementary schools. I was around those buildings, majority of the day, going back through and all of the life improvement, rotating those out. We really did all a lot this summer, but yet definitely huge benefit for using those rooms. So that being said, Lisa's kind of prepping already for next summer, like more
Dr. Bray, for the next 4 schools that we have identified as like. Oh, sorry, I apologize. Dr. Myers. Anyway, so we are moving forward. We picked the next 4 high priority schools, which are Forest Park, Jail Mud, Mount Hope, and Mid Rivers. And I just completed a walk through last week with the engineer who did all the planning last year and then the year before for the HVAC improvements. We've identified what we believe needs to be replaced, what doesn't. These older schools, it's pretty much a lot of it. I mean, there's a few pieces we keep, some of the bigger pieces, but it's pretty much total gut on our HVAC. So with that being said, they put a budget estimate so far, a design estimate of about $8.3 million to do the 4 schools. And then their fees are based on 5.5% of that total cost. They will give us a definite design cost, but they feel very comfortable with what they've given to me to give to the board. So their total fees would be $458,857.30. And that is for them to design it, and then they assist me through all the bidding, and then they actually oversee all the job and the installation of everything, and then they make sure everything is installed correctly and receives a punch list. So they quite a bit of work for us, just like an architect would like recording park. So with the board's approval, I'd like to ask for approval to receive them, so we can get these bid documents out. Last year worked really well, we did it really early, we had no problems with getting any of the equipment before school actually was out. We had a lot of equipment already before the school year ended this past year. So we were ready to install, and they started ripped up out immediately. So we're trying to get a jump on it. There's long lead times, so we just started wanting to get moving forward.
That's a simple question. I know something there, they keep it at 5.5%. What's the range for that typically is? Just in comparison to like what you need.
Anywhere from 6 to 7% or more, it just depends. I think as these engineers work with each individual school district or whatever, they get, the bigger the project, the less the fees are. Like with Corey Park, we have a schedule, in our house project, it goes up, I think we're about 7.5% on Corey Park. On real small projects, it might be 7, but, so it's a very good fee.
If not, I need a motion to approve the professional service HVAC 2025 recommendations as presented. Mr. Helm, second please. Dr. Marion, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next, we have new business.
Thank you. Just one item under new business. As you may remember, at the July meeting, we brought our agreement with St. Peter's for the services that we provide collaboratively. This month, we have the City of O'Fallon School Resource Officer Partnership Agreement. Essentially the same process as we discussed in years prior. We have an equal partnership with them in terms of the amount we pay relative to the salaries. Have appreciated working with them over the years in terms of consistency and responsiveness. This goes through and just lays out their expectations for the 24-25 school year. Happy to answer any questions, but pretty standard renewal at this point.
Does anybody have any questions? All right, I need a motion to approve the 24-25 City of O'Fallon SRO participation agreement. Mr. Christopher?
Second.
Second. Mr. Helms, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you. All right, we are to comments from the board. I will start with you, Dr. Marion, if you're not breaking another computer.
Well, I'm breaking the mic this time. I would like to start by thanking our students and other speakers that were at our big back to school kickoff that we had at the stadium. It was very nice, by the way, Mr. Myers and everyone who did that. First time I think we've ever gotten everybody together for once. They probably dreaded it, but hopefully once they were there, they saw some benefit to it. It was sure nice to see them all in one place. But we had Pheasant Point fifth grader Savannah introduced Dr. Myers, and Jail Mudd second grader Avery introduced the Educator of the Year, Jennifer Kiss. They both did a great job, and at the All-Star Staff event, we heard from 4 members of the class of 2025, North High's Jackson Pullman, East High's Caden Nair, Hope High's Kai Gillespie, West High's Aceel Aish, and South High's Marley Steele, and they all did a great job, and we appreciate them sharing, so I want to point that out. And other than that, I think I appreciate the work. It was good to see the transportation design. I know they must be really excited.
They are very excited.
To go from what they've been trying to make do with to that, so that it would be very nice for our staff to have a good place to work in. So, thank you.
Mr. Christopher?
Yeah, congratulations to our graduates again. It's always great to see that come around each year. Excited to see the transportation thing. We were talking about it earlier. I think that's going to be a great deal for our staff out there. Hard to believe summer's gone. School's here. Talked to a few of the principals today. Everything went pretty well, pretty solid. Kids are excited to be back. I know their parents are excited for them to be back. But a good start, so I just hope that it continues as always to be a great year in the Zumwalt district. I know a lot of people work awful hard, and it's a great community, so let's keep that going. I do have one announcement, and I think this was given to me because of my advanced age. Senior citizen passes for fall sports start next week. Residents older than 55 can come to district office and get a senior pass. All they have to do is show an ID, and the passes are good at any Zumwalt high schools, and you get in for that pass. I guess that's the advantage of being mature.
I guess John and I will sign up for that.
Yeah, we're gonna sign up, get our cards later on, and but for all district events, not good for MISHA events. That's usually at the end of the season for district and different things, and it's kind of different rules. But thanks everybody for the hard work, and let's have a great school year.
What's the price for the pass?
It's free.
It's free.
Oh, good.
For 55 and over.
Yeah, 55 and over.
Experienced individuals.
You are.
Yes.
You can't tell us cost too much that week.
Okay, first off, to the lady and the young gentleman that spoke to us regarding the boundary exemption, it's something we're going to discuss. Hopefully, the school administration can take a look at that. It sounds like a fairly reasonable request. Also, an announcement: we have a teacher, Jennifer Kist, from the Early Childhood Educator of the Year. She was our 4th Zumwalt Educator of the Year. She was recognized recently with 10 other teachers that are moving on to Missouri Teacher of the Year program, selection, we'll say. That'll be announced in October, but to Ms. Kist, excellent work. Proud to have you as a teacher here in the district. And then last but not least, one other thing, just with the new school year kicking off, a newly elected mayor once said that the key to fixing this town is the small things. Let's fix the broken windows, clean up abandoned lots, cut grass, everything else will fall into place. So with this beginning of the school year, I just ask that our administration team really hold our building supervisors accountable to our board policy, dress code, cell phone policies. It's all there, it just needs to be enforced. I'm convinced that just these small little things will affect the tone and the mood at those schools, and we'll keep big stuff from popping up. That's all I have to say, and I hope it's a hell of a year.
Thank you. Ms. Bird?
Thank you. I wanted to say our new family portal is off the ground thanks to our Student Information Systems Department and all of technology for the 2 years of planning and constructing of the system, and for the support being provided to staff and families. Thank you to the registrars for the work that they have done to help families connect with their students in the FZSD family portal. And thank you to our community for the patience, as well as we're working through the kinks, and it's going to be a great way to connect once everyone is able to use it. Thank you. Also, I want to say thank you for all the work that's gone into preparing for the new transportation department building, And for all those HVACs, I have to say, I was reading a book in my first graders class at Mid-Rivers, and that it was loud, and it was a lot to read over that to the class, and I was like, oh my goodness. So thank you for making sure the other schools had that, and they're already starting the year with that, and I was glad to see MRE on there so that they can have a quieter class to be able to teach in.
Thank you. Mr. Jones?
All right. So first, I want to thank everybody who had anything to do with the celebration over at the Hoop Stadium. That was amazing. Yeah, I did hear some grumblings, but from those same individuals, I heard good things afterwards. It was one that was like, you know what, that was kind of cool. So I'll take it. You can't really ask for much more than that. So yeah, so that was definitely great. Thank you for everybody who came and embraced it and just made the best of the morning. Lisa, thank you so much, and everybody else who has to do with our facilities. I mean, like you said, we've done a lot in a very short amount of time, and more than some people even realize, I think. And I think that's just awesome for you all as an administration to be able to come together and get that done in such a timely fashion. So I want to talk about the new lunch payment system. So evidently, it's a lot of participation, and there's been a lot of deposits made. So we just hope everybody continues to embrace it, and if you have questions, please feel free to reach out. But it seems to be going along okay so far. I haven't heard anything, but maybe it's just a matter of time. But yeah, thank you everybody for a great first day. No incidents, I guess, which is phenomenal today. So yeah, that's all I got.
Thank you. This summer, we hosted our first back to school bash. Our student personnel team and district nurses put that together. And what I love so much about this, it was incredibly successful, which I didn't have a doubt of, but it came from an idea and somebody several people having a passion to make sure our schools in our community had these resources available, which is what we all try and give to our students, to come up with this and present something and do it and make it happen, and they did it. And I want to shout out to Melissa Tishy. She was a big force behind this, and she did good. So a couple stats on what they had. 77 students were able to update vaccinations and be at school today. 150 students were able to get new shoes. More than 800 students were able to get backpacks and school supplies. Dozens of families were able to complete their online enrollment and get updates. That's big. And we always have people who ask for how they can donate, how they can give to things as people need it through the year. That's something that is ongoing, that our mental health professionals, the counselors at the school, they have that going. So if you're interested in helping out, reach out to your schools and they can put you in touch with them, because this is an ongoing, helpful thing. But I'm proud of everybody who did it. Way to go. And let's keep that going, because we're gonna have a great year, guys. All right. With that, this concludes our agenda. We're not going to go back into open session after closed session. I need a motion to go into closed session in accordance with RMSO 610.021 to discuss the approval of minutes from our June 17th closed session meeting, the August 5th special session emergency closed session meeting, and hiring, firing, promotion of personnel.
Motion.
Mr. Pratt, second please. Mr. Helms, roll call please, Ms. Marks.
Mrs. Powers?
Yes.
Mr. Holmes?
Yes.
Mr. Christopher?
Yes.
Dr. Manning?
Yes.
Mrs. Bird?
Yes.
Mr. Pratt?
Yes.
All right, thank you.